I'd like to call the meeting to order. First, it's nice to be back in person meeting, so this is our first one. And how long, Tina? Almost 2 years?
Yeah.
Boy, it is good to be back and to see everyone, although I've seen everyone around town. And second, I want to welcome Mark Kickles for his first in-person meeting. So Mark, welcome.
Thank you, pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you aboard. And with that, gee, we don't have to go through the actual roll call and things of that we had to do in the virtual meeting, and we can just go back to normal operations. As you can see on the minutes, the agenda, the first order of business is to approve the minutes of the April 2nd meeting, and I believe Wayne and Art were present on that, and Mark, you were not, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Arthur, could
minutes
you
as
second that,
presented.
please?
I do
Okay,
second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thanks. Second item is bills to be paid, and
We do have one?
we have one bill. It's the Commonwealth of Mass Group Insurance Commission for $1,029.72. That's our annual payment?
Quarterly.
Quarterly payment to that agency, the Commonwealth of Mass. So if there's no question on that, a motion to approve the payment of that bill to the Commonwealth of Mass Group Insurance Commission for $1,029.72.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Great. I want to quickly go over the financial report that we have here, the monthly financial. Tina, I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Nope.
And one account, let me see, two accounts here. On one account, we have a balance, which is our operating account of $369.44. And the other account we have, which is the grant program account, $14,433.23, still available for any programs that we might have. And did she give us a reconciliation of the signed grant program? That is balanced. Any questions on the financial? We are in solid financial condition as we speak. Tina, any comments on that?
Nope, looks good.
Any questions from anyone on that?
I just noticed that on the spreadsheet, it says 71,365. On the ending balance, it says 72,369 on the Northern Bank statement. I don't know if that's because of the check that was just cut for the GIC.
Yeah, no, that has not cleared through. That has not cleared through. The ending balance on the bank statement is 72,369.44, and
Yeah, on Karen's summary, it is different.
Yeah, 71,365.46.
Oh, there's an outstanding check. That's why she has a little note. There's an outstanding check, number 3022.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, though, to be honest with you, but there is apparently an outstanding check that would bring it down to that.
Well,
okay.
3022, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that, we're going to set with that, if
Yep.
motion to approve the financial report as submitted. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Okay, Tina, any correspondence?
None.
Just to deviate a little bit from the agenda, no, we'll keep that for new business, okay? Just make a note. Updating the sign facade.
None. We have no, excuse me, no,
No outstanding. We had one request that, I think it was that building on the corner of Everett Street, there was some talk that they might want to do a sign, but I'm
Right.
not sure what the status of that is. I think it's probably on hold. I think from what we've all heard, it's probably re-evaluating what's going to happen on that facility. That would be the building on the corner of Everett and Main, across from the Boyle building there on the other side of the street. So there was some communication with the WRA and Karen Smith regarding the possibility of a sign grant, but probably reevaluating what the process of her plan is to rehab or do some work in that building, so I think that is on hold. So that was the only one that was pending.
Sure.
So we still have monies available for businesses in the community if they do want to take advantage of the program. Roughly $14,000, so again, if any of us here or anyone new in town, we probably should do some outreach and see what happens. Maybe Jim can put something in the paper regarding that, but monies are available. This time of year, we still want to continue to enhance the downtown.
In that light, Mr. Chairman, what I can do is maybe just do up a quick couple paragraph press release type
Yeah.
thing and send it to Jim and ask him if he
Okay.
can put it in the paper.
Everyone okay with that? Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, all right, good idea, great idea, thanks. Again, the important segment of the meeting is to discuss the initiatives we've been doing, and we have moving that forward on a couple of matters. One, the first of all, the economic development. We're still interviewing candidates for that position. We have interviewed to date 3 candidates. Can you give us an update on have they all been communicated with?
They have.
Okay, so the 3 candidates that we have interviewed, the interviews, Tina, myself, and 2 members of the Woburn Development Corporation participate in the interviews. And they're taking time to really get involved because, again, they funded the position. And I think we have set the bar pretty high. We want someone that's really going to come in, hit the ground running. And the 3 candidates that we've talked to, that we've interviewed, all capable candidates, but just each of them had probably lacking one area that we really want some expertise. It's sort of frustrating that that we don't have the position filled, but I think the consensus around the table with Tina, myself, Peter Haggerty, and Lou Gentile is that we want the right candidate, and that's going to be able to work in a manner that's going to be very, very beneficial to the city. So we're holding off. Tina, you might want to probably explain a little bit how you're going to tweak the job description a little bit based on how the candidates that we are getting in now.
Right, so we've reposted on the city's website, and we've also put ads in the National APA, American Planning Association website, and the Massachusetts chapter of the APA. And we have an ad that went in earlier this week, yesterday, and we got confirmation of all places. So for the APA, they'll be on for 30 days, and the city's posting will stay up until the position is filled. Revamped it a little bit, not so much the job description itself, but the ad, trying to make it clear that it's an exciting opportunity for somebody to be building their career. One of my thoughts is that the way we had the ad worded previously, it might have led people to believe that we are only potentially interested in people that have years and years of experience in the economic development field, and that's not necessarily the case. We would like certainly some experience, but enthusiasm, new ideas, a fresh way of looking at things, energy. Not that we didn't see that in the candidates that we saw, but we wanted to make it clear that the job was definitely not something that needed decades or a decade of experience. So I hope I've done that with the rewording, and we're hoping we'll be more successful this time.
The position itself, we're looking to someone as a liaison downtown to really work the community up and down Main Street, work with the council and possibly the mayor's office and Tina to attempt to attract new business to the city, be an ambassador for the city. So I think we need someone that has a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy, who really and truly wants to build a career. And, we're not saying it's a stepping stone because we're not looking at that, but someone who knows Woburn, who understands Woburn, who wants to carry the torch and in a position that can be a career move for someone if for the right person. And that's kind of what we're looking for. And so far, we have not seen that, and that's kind of where the bar is on that. I don't know if anyone has any comments on that. I welcome anyone's comments and any insight into, how they envision the position.
Other than advertising on where you mentioned, is like LinkedIn, are there any advertisements on there?
No,
Okay, I thought that might be,
that might be a great suggestion.
yeah.
Any comments or?
No, I agree. I think that, somebody that has, passion and can kind of think outside the box. We don't have, the city of Woburn, downtown Woburn, we don't have an attraction like, the commuter rail coming into downtown or schools or colleges so we have to kind of really think outside the box to revitalize downtown and get people to come in, like what's going to be the draw.
Right.
We've got some really great restaurants. We've got some really great, stores down there, but we really do need to revitalize it.
Right. And we'll talk about that in other business, a couple of things that are popping up, so let's keep going here, then we'll revert back to that. Okay, Tina, on the park, which is our main focus and probably change that we want to implement before we move on to the next 2 or 3 down the road. Why don't you give us an update on that? I know last month, the DPW and Lynn were working on putting together some cost estimates, some drawings, next steps. What are we going to do? How are we going to implement it, and where we're going from here? We also, funding is a question of how we're going to fund it, how the city's going to fund it, and I think you have an update on that. So why don't you take where we are right now and where we're going and what our next steps would be in front of us at probably our next meeting or whenever you feel.
Okay. So, since the last meeting, Lenny Burnham has done a couple of things. Lenny is the Assistant Public Works Director, and he's sort of my contact and be the one that works with us to get this project done. He scheduled and held a meeting on site with a representative that we've been working with from MassCore. It's through the Mass Correctional Department, and they actually manufacture much of the street furniture, or a number of different types of street furniture, and Woburn has placed orders from them in the past. You might remember about 2 years ago now, maybe 3, the WRA put aside some funds. We bought some planters and benches, and we bought them all from MassCore. It's an incredibly well-priced product compared to the typical retail market. So Lenny met with the gentleman on site to talk to him not only about standard styles of tables and chairs, which we envision having at least 1 or 2 tables or chairs, but also some bench-style seating. The plan that we're going by, sort of using as our guide, was one that had been developed a couple of years ago by G2 Collaborative, a private consulting firm. The city was lucky enough to get a grant that awarded us not funds, but the services of this design group. And they'd come in and we did a charrette, had a meeting in the evening, gathered people's thoughts, and they had developed a plan of how to improve that park. And there's a lot of bench-style seating, but also room for accommodating either a band or public discussions. It involves a new PA system. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So I'll stick with MassCore, has come in, they've done their site visit. We've talked to them about what we would like to think about purchasing from them. They're working on getting us a cost estimate. It was delayed because the person we're dealing with ended up contracting COVID, so that's took them offline for a few weeks. But we expect to have the cost estimates from them this week. Lenny is also scheduled for later this week a site visit by a gentleman who will give us advice not only on the lighting and how much more we might need to add to that park, but where, and he also does sound systems. The plan is to have not only lights, but the ability to have music or PA systems in the park. So we're checking on the electrical, make sure that we have what we need for service on those. The other thing that that gentleman will be thinking about is he also does video equipment. One of the things we've talked about is that back line, the back property line of that property. Right now, it's a small raised planting bed with a tree, a pretty tree when it's in bloom, and then behind it is just a sheer rock cliff. But there's not a lot of attractiveness underneath there, and it's, we can't really stand or do anything under that tree. So our thought may be, we may move that tree or relocate it, but the thought might be is to open it up and you could use that rock wall as a place to project, whether it's a virtual waterfall with sound or whether it was a light display or anything else that you might think about. We're at least going to build in the capacity and buy the equipment to be able to do those kinds of projections in that park. So it'd be kind of a neat way to animate it even when there may not be people in it. So that's due to happen, that meeting is due to happen sometime this week. So within 7 to 10 days, Lenny probably will have some sort of a rough cost estimate from him. And over the next 2 weeks, we'll also be working with the engineering department to come up with an actual sketch plan of exactly where we place some of the new seating in particular, and the new lights, and some plantings. So I think at your next meeting, my hope would be that Lenny could attend, and that we'd be able to share with you in advance of that meeting at least a rough plan of what we think we'd like to put for improvements, and we'd have some cost estimates.
Okay.
You should know that Representative Haggerty was successful in getting, attaching an earmark to a recent bill that was passed that provides us with $75,000 worth of funding for improvements to the downtown. And we've had a previous conversation around this table about spending that money to create the pocket park. Whether that will be enough money, I'm not sure. It depends obviously on part of the final design. But I have talked to the mayor, and he is open-minded. Of course, he didn't make an absolute commitment, but he said if you find that you have the best design and it costs more than $75,000, come see me and we can talk about it. So he didn't guarantee anything, but there's at least a possibility that we could augment that if we needed to. So
Your feeling on that, Jeff?
Absolutely, and I'll be glad to support that as well.
Good, okay,
If
great.
it goes through the mayor to city council, I will advocate with my fellow city council members to do my best to get it done.
good, good. I appreciate that.
If, I know we gotta be careful about the open meeting, but if anyone wants to attend that meeting at Walk Around the Park, they're welcome. I will back off just because, you know, if someone is interested, why don't they reach out to Tina? We can have one or two.
We could have at least, we could have up to 2 members.
Okay, so if
You wouldn't
anyone's
be at one.
interested, you know, just keep me informed if I'm
Okay.
around or whatever, but it might be something that you might wanna.
Okay, when is that going to be?
Don't have it, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I can certainly find
You
that
can
out if
pencil me
anyone's
in, please.
interested. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, great, that'd be great. Okay, so next, looks like next meeting, hopefully we'll have Lenny here with some sort of schematic or drawings of what's going on with that and how we can move it forward. That's
And a cost estimate
the
too.
cost estimate. Great. Any questions on that?
I have a
Yep.
question. Does the, isn't there a bus stop right there? Does that play into it at all? Does that
Yep,
impact
yeah, in
us?
fact, one of the things that we asked the gentleman, or Lenny asked the gentleman from MassCore was, what do you have, if anything, in the way of bus shelters or something that someone can stop over? So he actually had worked on a project in a different community. It's more like a canopy that, you know, kind of freestanding, but he promised to look up those designs and have those too. So we're not advocating moving the bus stop at this point.
Okay.
And I had a kiosk written down, the canopy.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah, and
thing.
if you get a canopy, if the city gets a canopy, that's an advertising opportunity right there,
Well, it is, I
you know?
suppose.
That
We
means
could have-
revenue for the city.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. IPAN, the T does that. That's
Oh,
what they do it on
okay.
their bus stops.
Okay.
They recognize it too as a revenue opportunity. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's, if you need the money and you don't mind the extra ads and, you know,
Well, that ties into that little kiosk we're looking at the parking area at one point. You know, after we get through this, maybe that's another thing we can take a peek at too, see how we can do that.
but you're
Okay,
right, it is.
everyone okay with
Thank
that?
you. Yes.
Good, great, thank you, that's great. So, to follow up in the economic development, we hope to have applicants, and as quickly as Tina receives them, she schedules the appointment promptly. So it's within a couple days, or definitely within a week, so we're right on it, and, you know, it's top priority with all of us to get someone in here, okay? So, and then with this, we're moving forward in the 2 top priorities that we set in our strategic plan for the next few months. Okay, a couple things downtown, you know, how is the Brickyard going with their outside?
They seem to be doing great. Concerts are scheduled for Wednesday nights.
Yeah, they were-
I know they've had one rain date so far, they've had to kick it to Thursday, but I don't
No
know how they're
problem?
doing, yeah, no.
No negativity, everything's positive, it is doing what the mission is to bring people down here, that's great.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will tell you this, I called because I was gonna place an order a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if it's still on their recorded message, but when I heard it, they were announcing that the concerts were about to start again, and they specifically thanked the city of Woburn for making it possible, which
Great.
was nice.
Okay, good,
It looks very good down there, too.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job down there.
good, excellent. Well, it'd be nice if we can do the same thing up there, see what happens. Okay, that's kind of the mission, the goal that we have is both ends of the spectrum here. A couple things that I just want to throw out. We had a discussion last month regarding the Chinese restaurant. Is that open, or is
It
that?
is open now.
Okay.
It was open and then it closed because there'd been apparently a death in the family or something, so unexpected. But I noticed the other day the sign is up and they're open.
Okay, great, that's good.
Yeah.
So-
Hunan Kitchen.
What's the name of it?
Hunan Kitchen.
Hunan Kitchen.
Is that
Good.
the old Royal Furniture Building?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. Mark mentioned to me that the property at the intersection of Salem and Campbell was recently sold.
The old Best Gas Dome,
Oh, really?
yes.
Oh.
And I met with the owner on Friday. He just bought it cold without any plans on buying the site. But he's from Winchester, saw it as an opportunity, and is thinking of a mixed-use development with retail on the ground level, residential above.
How much area is
It's
that?
only about 3,400 square feet.
Really tough, right?
And, yeah, I mean, the drive-through won't work. It's historic. He believes the permit to demolish it has expired, the year waiting period. But that's what he's thinking. He just saw it as an opportunity and bought it, without any plans or subject to any permits.
God bless him. Okay, he's a better man than me. It's, one of the things we always say here, that we like to see private development down here, so private investment is great, so let's see what happens with that. The other thing that I saw in Bankers and Tradesmen, so it is public information, is the 5-cent savings bank building was recently sold. And I think one of the goals I have before the next meeting is to reach out to them and see what their plans are. I think I have a contact there. We'll see what happens there, but, that's a gateway to Woburn Center, and I don't know what can be done there in the zoning. You mentioned,
I think it's zone BD, which would mean that if they had commercial on the first floor, they could conceivably have residences on the upper stories. They do have parking out back. They're a good-sized parking lot of their own, so that'll sustain some amount of
do you have
development.
any input into that? Have you heard anything?
That's what I've heard again, but my personal opinion is that's what we need in Woburn Center. We need the businesses and we need that residential above. So at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it doesn't all shut down. We still have activity down there.
Right,
And the only way you're gonna get that is with the residents that live there.
right.
And we're seeing that now.
The Armory's a great facility.
Armory
It
came out
very-
beautiful.
Right, and hopefully this could be another landmark type project.
Minnesota's came out very nice as well with the
Right.
restaurant on the first floor and the residential. So that's what I would like to see more of.
And is it called the Dog House?
The dog house.
That was
too.
one story, and then that was renovated, there's residential above that.
Yeah.
Couple over here on Montvale.
Yes,
did the
two
same.
new ones on Montvale, that
So
one too.
let's keep that, in mind of when they come up like that, let's attempt to follow through, which I will do the Woburn 5, I'll take that.
What I like about the Woburn 5 is they have their parking
That's
out
correct,
back.
we talked about that
You
earlier.
know, let's face it. Problem is, everyone says they don't wanna go downtown because of parking. So, that's, Mark and I have talked about that a number of times with different ideas, but, so, I think that's a great spot right there because they have the parking.
And, we saw floating around the Common. Any update on that?
Oh, well, no particular change.
I know,
But the Woburn Center Safety Program or project is the one that would make some roadway improvements out in front of City Hall down to the library and up. I forget how far it
I
runs
thought it went
away.
before the council.
It did.
It was kind
It
of.
did, and it's a huge plan, and out 2, 3, 4 years, and it's
Okay.
still in the planning stage, but.
Good.
Yeah,
a
we've,
real-
need to have some public meetings, especially of the
Absolutely.
the
They're coming up
merchants.
quick. They're
Yeah.
talking about right after the summer break to get those public meetings going and get the input from the residents, from the businesses, and see what they want and what they don't want.
That's something that we should be a part of as far as
Yes.
participation.
Absolutely,
You may
absolutely.
want to go on the city council website and watch that meeting, because it was very good how he explained, the gentleman from the,
Rich Benevento from
Thank
World Tech
you.
Engineering.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we met him, yeah.
He
Yeah.
really went into detail what could and what may work out well.
Good, okay, just, so there's some things on the horizon here that we have to deal with, but, priority one is economic, the park, Woburn 5, these things here that really we could.
Quick question, any activity on the old CVS that's in the center?
No, but
No.
I got a call from an individual who was interested in purchasing it to put a service-type business in there, and I told her to go to the powers to be here in City Hall to see if it's zoned for which.
Special permits,
Yeah.
perhaps, sure.
So I don't know, and, if you want to subdivide it, but it was a lease, and
How about on the other side of where the Tenor Tavern was there? I see a new sign up there, something Den or something?
Fox Den, yeah.
What is it, Fox Den?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it maybe is the same owner of the doghouse.
Different owner, they're
Different owner.
doing Polish food,
Really?
pierogies and that type of deal.
Just think of doghouse, Fox Den, there's a lot of,
They
there's like an animal running around.
they split it with Gentle Dental.
Makes sense to
Yeah.
me.
is that gonna be a reality? Is that gonna open?
Yeah.
Yeah, signs
Yeah.
up, yeah.
Yeah,
Polish
but
food?
They
Huh.
subdivided, Gentle Dental took part of it, and then there's Polish food, pierogies and that type
Sounds
of
good.
deal.
My brother-in-law resprinkled that building.
Okay, good. So that's gonna be tenanted, which is good.
Yeah.
Good, great.
Yeah,
And 315 Main has got a commercial sign, lease sign out right across from Roma's.
Yeah, the bank building, yeah, they've been
oh,
asking
the
for a
old
while.
Central Grill?
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
asking for a while, that's been on the market for a while,
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah, they've been out for quite a while now.
Is Peterson back in business?
Yeah.
I see the kids
Yeah.
going over to the,
Oh, yeah.
They actually started back a lot earlier than, than I think, Society came back.
Yeah. That's another site that we should keep our eye on, because sooner or later, that's gonna go away. The Times building, sooner or later.
is that the old Times building?
Yeah.
It looks tired.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be in tough shape.
That could use some 10 to 11 care, with the side.
What about the new buildings there at the end of Montville?
The Vale, you mean?
Yeah.
They're moving along. Mass General Brigham was planning to go there with about 65,000 square feet facility, but they have abandoned that plan because,
I'm talking about, like, literally right out of the center of town.
Oh, yeah, for Montville and the next
Yeah.
one, so,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, I'm way down
That's
there.
okay.
number 4, where the old dry cleaner was, that's
Yeah.
moving at a snail's pace. I don't know what's taking him so long. I don't know if he has an anchor tenant for the street level yet. His residence is up above. On the other side, where the liquor store was, he's moving right along.
Yeah.
He's out of Stoneham.
But again,
He's making great progress, but I don't think they have any leases
but
signed.
again, you have that
right
private investment down here.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, that's where we can help out with the sign or what have you, if that need be. Okay, great, good news, good stuff going on. Next meeting?
Next meeting is June 28th, fourth Tuesday, and hopefully in person if everybody's agreeable.
Yes.
And we'll hopefully have Lenny Burnham joining us.
That'd be
for that.
great. It'd be nice if we could get those plans before, so we
Yes.
can play around with it, and if Jeff can be copied on that.
Will do.
Okay, anything else? Thanks so much. Good to see everyone. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Good. Great to see everyone.